Hello and welcome to Perfect Glamour Fashion. In today's tutorial, we're going to be learning how to make a 3-part homemade bra cup, okay? Usually this is made with a zigzag machine, but even if you don't have a zigzag machine, I'm going to show you a method where you can use any type of machine you have to achieve your homemade bra cup. Now for this project, you're going to either be using a wording fabric, or you can use your laminated bra foam. The wadding fabric can either be thick or light. For this particular one, I used 4 layers of the light wadding fabric to achieve it. Now, one of the reasons why we use homemade bra cup is because it gives us the leverage to make our cup to be as high as we want. Now, you see the difference between this already made bra cup and the homemade bra cup, like 1 full inch height. Okay, so it will cover your clients or customer as much as you want it to cover. Okay, now we're using, for this particular project, we're going to be using the laminated bra foam. All right, so the first thing we do is to draw a cross, like a horizontal line and then a vertical line across it to form a cross. Okay, now when you formed your cross, what you do is to place your tape on your nipple point, that's your bust point, your bust apex, and then mark your under bust. And then you're going to note the difference between your bust apex and your under bust, and you're going to mark that difference round, that's your cross like line. Okay, so you're going to mark it round to just form a circle. So the difference between my bust point and under bust is 3.5, so I marked 3.5 round. Okay, now on that point where you marked your under bust, you're going to mark 1.25 inch on both sides. 1.25 inch on both sides. I'm going to rule out that line just so that you know, and label so that you know where I'm talking about in this video. Okay, so this is the nipple point, this is the underbust, this is the center front, and this is the side front of your cup. Okay, so on this underbust I've marked 0.25, and then on the nipple point I will come down by 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to place my curved ruler. Now look very closely to see how I am placing this curved rule. Okay, because the way you place your curved rule will determine how curvy your cup will come out to be. So if you don't have curved rule, you can use your free hand. Just make sure you place it to be as deep as it can be. Okay, right, so now that you've done that, I'm just labeling how many inches I left for those 2 places. Now the next thing we're going to do is to come to your center front. Under your nipple point line, you're going to mark 1/2 inch above your nipple point and 1/2 inch below your nipple point towards the center front. And then you're going to connect it back to your underbust with your curved ruler. Okay, so you're going to use any of the deep parts of your curved ruler to achieve this part. Now, if you're seeing this channel for the first time, you're new to this channel, do well to subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell. By this, you're going to be notified every time we post any new video. Okay, and if you're old, my OGs, I love you. Thank you very much for always engaging with my content. Now, if you notice, I've drawn the second line. Now for the side front, I'm going to increase what we have in the side front by 1/2 inch, or 0.75. I increased by 0.75 because this person is a bit busty. Okay, and then I'm going to mark 1/2 inch above that side front and below it. Okay, so 1/2 inch up and 1/2 inch down, and then I'm going to connect it with the curved ruler just the way we did for the center front. Okay, now if you have any question, remember to ask in the comment section. I will always be there to answer your questions. Okay, now use your curved ruler and connect to the nipple point line also, and by this we have our 2 cups. So we already have cup 1 and cup 2. Now the next thing we're going to do is to do the upper part, that is the single cup. Okay, now before we go up to the upper part, the first thing you do is just to connect that 1/2 inch to the nipple point, the upper part 1/2 inch to the nipple point. So now that we have done this, the next thing we're going to do now is to place your rule on the place you want, that it's the nipple point, and then mark where you want your cup to start. Usually people like, you can do anything, but at least 3 inches above your nipple point is good. Okay, so I'm going to be ruling a straight line across this side and then across the side fronts too. So this straight line is going to serve as a guide for me to form this part of the cup. Okay, so on this other side you can go up by 1 inch less than what you went up by in the center, and then do the same thing for the side fronts. So as I went down, as I used 3.5 inch for the center, I'm going to be using 2.5 inch on both sides. Another way you can do this is to mark where exactly you want your neck depth to be. For this bra cup, I want the neck depth of the cloth I'm making with it to be 8 inches. So I marked exactly at that 8 inches, and then I'm connecting the line. I hope that makes sense. Now, if you have any question, if you have any confusion, just ask in the comment section. I'll be there to clarify any kind of question, okay? All right, so the next thing we're going to do is mark 0.25 on each part of the center front and side front, on that tip of the center front and side front. This is to ensure that there will be no gaping when you place your cup. You see how simple that is? We are done. This is the way to cut it. And once you're done cutting, the next thing you're going to do is to cut it on your bra foam, and then I'm going to show you how to sew it. You're going to cut 2 pieces of everything we're cutting now, okay? But I'm just going to use one to show you what I'm doing. So pay close attention. If you don't have a zigzag machine, what you just have to do is to leave 1/2 inch sewing allowance on the area, on the pieces of the bra cup that you're going to be joining. Okay, the parts that you're going to be joining, you're going to leave 1/2 inch on both sides. Now go ahead and label the parts that you're going to be joining. Very important, so that you don't join the wrong part. Okay, and then you're going to join these parts with 1/2 inch sewing allowance. Now I've gone ahead to join this part with the sewing allowance I left. I also top stitched. You top stitch very close to the line, the sew line, and then you trim out the excess. Are you seeing how neat it's already looking? And then I'm going to be joining the upper part in the same way with 1/2 inch sewing allowance. I've gone ahead to join it. I'm going to go and top stitch on both sides very close to the seam line, and then I'm going to trim out. By doing this, you're done with your bra cup if you are using a sewing machine that is not zigzag machine. Okay, now go ahead and iron this out very well. Remember, you can use 2 or 3 layers of this laminated bra foam if this is too light for what you want to do. Okay, and then you can also go ahead and do your bust caging on this, or you can do your bust caging on your fabric. I love to do my bust caging on this. In my next video, I'm going to show you how I did my bust caging, so stay tuned for that video. Now, this is for those that have zigzag machine. If you have a zigzag machine, this is for you. This is very simple to do, very easy to do. Cut your laminated bra foam the same exact measurement as your pattern pieces. Okay, no allowance needed for this one. Now you're going to go to your sewing machine, your zigzag machine, and join this down part. See the way I joined it? Okay, and then you're going to join the upper part using the same zigzag machine. And then when you're done, that will be all for you. Okay, now are you seeing how neat this is looking? But then remember, you use the color of the fabric that you're using for your stuff. Okay, so it will look neat at the back. So this is the 2 different types of cups that we've done, where you both with a zigzag machine and without zigzag machine. In my next tutorial, I'll be showing you how to do your bust caging, and it's going to be very, very simple and interesting. I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.